In the vast, endless icy forest of Siberia, where the temperature dropped to unbelievable -71 degrees Celsius, lies a small wooden house. This is the home of Samuil. For the past 20 years, Samuil has chosen to live far away from civilization, together with bears and wolves, in one of the harshest environments on Earth. Samuil's days begin with a routine that is both essential and demanding. Every morning he rises early to listen to the news on his radio, his only connection to the outside world. But survival in Yakutia's harsh winter climate is not easy, and keeping his home warm is an ongoing battle. Every day, as the sun rises, he ventures into the forest to gather enough wood to fuel the stove for the day. For Samuil, the daily task of collecting wood is a necessary but grueling one, requiring multiple trips into the forest daily. Samuil built his home using logs from the forest. In order to keep the house warm during the harsh Yakutian winters, he insulated it with oakum, a material made from old rope that is often used in Yakutian houses. Instead of proper windows, he uses cellophane. However, cellophane is not an effective insulator. The house doesn't retain heat well, and that's why Samuil must constantly heat the house. The unforgiving climate in Yakutia demands respect and caution. The air in such low temperature is painfully cold and biting, but by keeping active and doing physical work, one can stay warm.
Tönte to'qqiz biyan hetta hullaqpın. Man olur butum basti hübbet tehu bolla. Ona min behre kolorabun bile tehibaptin ana. Bir man utu olur yerine ala. Olin biyen Allah tehibaptin. Olin utu tan varah ve kumba bapolan ala. Eten kuttallaan. Man se haas bolla te hyddatilla te hayiniti. Mu behöllä kiireemin kassata tyvähti. Huokka. No man minä naadi batta no. Để ta học được cái buông nó được là.
Living 30 kilometers away from the nearest village, Samuil must also contend with the challenge of obtaining food. He doesn't hunt, and his only source of meat is through setting traps for hares. However, this method doesn't always work, and when supplies run low, he must make the long 5-hour walk to the village, a journey that can only be undertaken during the warmer months of spring and summer.
Ottanut kyynen oloon, no vastaan notun, tynner kynsterisi. Tohtalo. Arat puolan ja utian alakan, hyvä ja niin. Hassata tuputun vattaan kyrörän todella puolelle. Arat, tynny.
When the house is warm, Samuil starts cooking his lunch. He eats once or twice a day, depending on his food stock. Despite the scarcity of food, Samuil never forgets the needs of his four-legged friends, always ensuring that they receive a portion of his own food. In the afternoon, before the sun goes down, Samuil must get water from the lake. He relies on the lake's ice as his primary source for drinking and washing, as it's cleaner and safer than snow. The freezing process purifies the water, eliminating any impurities present before it was frozen. This daily routine is crucial for Samuil, as it ensures he maintains good health.
Yritak normal maha ni na normal ang denten. Takar yagin na na gid. Teting tenelan ti eddas teting mad hang wi mit teting. Ontan tungula. Wi mit gane kuchugo ba heb daktanan. Kubastangan da ula suwa wangan tuara. Dawan na bide kere ya da. Ikjasin kutuk. 어쩌 호텔리 바꾼 아고와 바꾼 나가나 주에 버블 헤비에 그것도 그때로다.
Living in the coldest place on Earth has its advantages. One of them is that Samuil doesn't need a refrigerator to keep his food fresh. The extremely cold weather acts as a natural freezer, allowing him to store his food outside. The only thing he has to be aware of is bears. Samuil needs to hide his food well to protect his food supply.
Halak tamu balke tuah tas tu tuah tu balke sewu.
When dinner time comes, Samuil is busy making Yakutian bread using soda, water and flour. It's a simple and fast recipe that produces a tasty bread and keeps him full. Samuil's life has been filled with hardship, and part of the reason that he decided to live alone in the forest was because his family died at his young age. But despite losing everything he held dear and the hardships that life has dealt, he never lost his kindness or his love for those around him. Even living in the harshest environments on earth, he found a way to shine a light in the darkness.
Di kamandatit.
Ada juga. Ya kalau pas ya, hangat pun dia bakal lari.
The Siberian forest is a harsh and unforgiving place where only the hardiest of individuals can thrive. Samuil is one such person, the only resident for miles around for the past 20 years. As the morning breaks, Samuil stirs from his sleep, slowly rising and beginning to prepare himself for whatever the wilderness may bring. To start his day, he washes his face with ice-cold water that he collected from a nearby lake. Another crucial aspect of morning routine is to tend to the wood-burning stove and keep the fire going to ensure that the temperature remains consistent throughout the day. It's the beginning of April, the long-awaited spring has finally arrived. The winter's icy grip is slowly loosening and the forest is starting to come to life once again. The temperature has begun to rise, with the biting cold of minus 60 degrees Celsius is slowly being replaced by a relatively balmy minus 10 degrees. This change is a welcome relief for Samuil, who has weathered the extreme cold alone in the wild forest.
뭐 혼옥다 같은 거 하지부터 알라 비혼 저긴 뭐라 하지부터 비혼 닦아 간나다 말바꾼 그쪽았지 마스파르잡은 뒤인 가스트 뒤인 시대에 떴던 그냥 알아 마스파르잡은 저 그냥 알아 그랬지 다락부 하분 비드민 익달라가 이건 주가 하나.
As the temperature starts to rise and spring fills the air, Samuil takes advantage of the favorable weather to create a significant number of brooms. To make money for food, Samuil uses his skills to create brooms from the branches in the forest. He walks for 5 hours to reach the nearest village, where he sells the brooms for $3 each. Samuil faced a difficult past as he lost his family at a young age and worked at a farm that eventually closed down, leaving him without a job. With determination to survive, he moved to the forest and used his skills to make a living. However, life in the forest was unforgiving and Samuil faced harsh living conditions. His small wooden house lacked proper windows and he had to use cellophane instead. When we heard about Samuil's situation, we could not ignore it and decided to take action. We decided to surprise him by bringing new windows, food and supplies to help him live in more comfortable conditions. Thanks to Nikolai, Lazar and our cameraman Radomir for organizing and bringing essential supplies to help Samuil. As Nikolai and Lazar diligently work on installing the new windows, Samuil eagerly heads into the forest to check the traps he had set earlier for hares. Living in the wild, Samuil depends on his trapping skills to obtain meat for his meals, and tonight he plans to share his catch with our team.
Tümnüga mattın ja eledektak. Ebigun maada kan bedde. Ya, içuga.
After successfully installing the new windows, the guys decided to help Samuil gather firewood and prepare some stock. With his new chainsaw, Samuil is able to obtain firewood faster and with greater ease. After a long and exciting day, Samuil is ready to wind down and indulge in his specialty of the house, Yakutian bread. This traditional bread, originating from Yakutia, is a staple in Samuil's diet and a source of comfort for him in the wild. He expertly mixed the flour, water, yeast and salt, kneading the dough until it's just right.
Bu ağa bıkkıterde yavlağından kastındı mı? Verip kahannamanlık üçüge tuvak kalbetağa bir deden uruttan. Ne bana bu tündüğüm kelen yabrannak buyur olakta olak. Eter gadala bile behülek kolar kudduk. Olak kuddar kastan üçüge zamanla bu kelenler oran beddiler. Abaratlılar da olakın olakın da ulatlar kamakta. İşte düktündük bunu oladdan beddiler. Dehebilin barata olağım teptir, dulus bagalla, tünnügüm var, demon ahalık var, debiyin dulus babın hattan da edergede bile olağım tuvakkuduk maspun takka elbette tiirti hangala kei oldu.
As dinner is being prepared, our team takes the opportunity to show Samuil the first part of the video we have made. This is the first time he has seen it, and his face lights up with joy as he watches himself and his way of life on screen. Seeing the footage is a heartwarming experience for Samuil, and he is grateful for the chance to share his story with others. As the video ends, Samuil expresses his gratitude, offering to share his food and many interesting stories about living in the wilderness. For Samuil, it's a reminder that even in the wilderness, there are people who care and are willing to lend a helping hand. This experience was a powerful reminder of the importance of showing kindness and compassion towards others, and how such acts can make a meaningful difference in someone's life. Living in the harsh depth of the vast forest is no easy feat, and Samuil knows this all too well. Countless challenges arise every day, especially when it comes to accessing the most basic necessities. While most of us start our days with familiar tasks like brushing our teeth, taking a shower, and having breakfast, Samuil's morning follow a different script. Samuil has been living alone for 20 years. Far from modern amenities, he has adapted to a life of self-reliance. Without access to electricity or a fridge, he has developed creative ways to make his daily routine work. One of the Samuil's solutions is his underground freezer, which relies on the permafrost in Yakutia, a naturally occurring frozen layer of soil and rock that never melt, even during summer.
Kıcağız, ehler, ahallar, has, oturu bulanlar, abatçılar. Arıççıgan, ahallar. Arıççıgan kendine namanla kaya, düğünleri ettirin bilen. Takı bütün ne üllügeni hıcıl bulan, ne. O da has kıyını öyle bakım var kini, o kini ıppakına. Martı üyen, onu tuğak ırgam.
Today is a special day for Samuil, as he is excited to receive help from our team to install a solar panel and bring essential supplies for his daily life. Thanks to the generous support from all those who contributed, we were able to get the best solar panel, and thank you everyone who cares and has shown kindness towards Samuil. While the team is busy installing the solar panel, Samuil feels overjoyed and takes the opportunity to enthusiastically show us around his house.
Bunu vatandaşlarım, onu bana arıklarım butururlar. Saydam diyen hurnavlar bu. Zaman ne bu? Martesiyen iskediyen bu tak. Zdrovo yedin. Emnerin ahlık astıllara gün var. İsis Kristos. Naman nakaddah bini. Urutu yung akay batak na manna. Matangara. Ita. Ito bakalan nande yung hukter bubun kana kalin sugay dakidjaman barawang kalaman wabatu tamahidabati. Arakaddaban hasada baraba. Tayi to yung tanga Mrs. Kristos. Kamera sala buka bahalsta. Dun behela kakiran tuwa tahalak kol behagay bulang kalabar kamera sala diyan tang tamaraw. Onu valla antımla tübeher kamera kod. Ya var halık bağın hügen de kalaştı ben. De onu bu sparsimen kırgıtta da var da.
Tuğata huji hiya tuğmay bandık. İnternet bagay bardak kapsiyaknıptaq.
Rabiita tyhävetyn, ety hyvin, että uti batu kakata takpana aana mahallan kabete. Mu aan. Arai katakuna kukra okonyor. Kahanna karaktaava toonyor. Kiinen kadammaran ohtaar ito ohtaarun tomuktaamudoro ona min etevi. Kainako okonyor. Wakatta kallin den yuli. Koramen humma putuktaan naan. Angal pattuuda. Ei tahtaa tämän turan jämmännä koiputu. Okonyor hitaa. Donton kata vaan kanna varaan taati takkaarutta tietysti. Donton turamman sakat täällä omaam tumnitta. Donton tuora kenni mittamaan ketiirkyttuk. Kenni mittan korottukor. Kenni kaya huok tuohtokostivat. Täällä de kenni verkimera manaan turalkuttuk. Donton turamman tahattaqstum. Takama koraben tahta ogonyan bardi. Oo kimno qawsqaran. Antan de balaqaniga. Antan de kiirammaran qohonat. Ötüamna huppat ara uqtaasa. Ara aanan kuukunu. Ora iddan qolbu aana megallan kiiramat man namie ande. Ahalla buana. Ara ma khataabutun de khata tuh lihat itu tara halla buhlak jamin soyan tuddum uhukta teman nabulak tuh kata fain
Ittadul betteringinde.
tadi bet dokter bet
Tuokpoda jendingde iççide.
buat mene tak mana uruk manna itu bu itu onna bara bit bu manna itu bu jitailer bulgu Onu bollana eppittele en huolun töddyör huollaran lyöly tuttubukkun dielerin ei diagan diebittere miidin mujene onun kanan kuddar barallaran huol meheddangas pippin jikudduk etellerite oli hengite kelen ihan hydden ahallatte no huo
O bidderin kuse buktada.
da honna biddere taukartan kastyvät tohtaa
With the installation of the solar panel, today feels like a new beginning for Samuil, as he can now access electricity in his home. As an expression of his gratitude, he is making a delicious pie filled with rice and meat, which he last made on New Year's Eve. As we gathered around to enjoy a meal of freshly made hand pies prepared by Samuil, we shared with him all the kind and supportive comments we received on the previous videos.
Omtur bitreb. Atom pasti bar mahtamutter. Wana o khadda hoq bitter khaybar.
ده بقيها مكتب بيرة ده هو
Samuil was very happy and deeply touched by all kind words. Seeing these messages gave him a sense of connection to the outside world and made him feel appreciated. It's truly amazing how small acts of kindness and support can have a significant impact on someone's life, and we felt privileged to be a part of making Samuil's day a little brighter.
어떤 일이 kanna körbütünim Ottunumin eyyeke biri de kelemim Enjegi tongsuyan turan Enneke enangin Sok bakka Soko tokhalan kamattu Toy tapalım en kereyen On tonumin tuaya halam Oğlaron doğaron Enere kereyen On tonumin tuaya halam Oğlaron
In our previous videos about Samuil's life, we have shared many aspects of his daily challenges living alone in the wild. But there is one important thing we have not shown you, how we actually get to Samuil's place. So let's begin right here. Today we are gearing up for another journey to visit Samuil, to check on how he is doing and bring him some much needed food supplies. Samuil lives about 30 kilometers away from the nearest village. To get there, we have to cross a river, and the roads this time of year are pretty rough. So we have to prepare well, just in case our vehicle freezes and we are stuck out in the heart of the vast taiga forest with no way to call for help. You might be wondering, why would anyone choose to live in such a harsh place? Well, I agree, living in one of the most challenging environments on Earth is not easy, and every day is a battle against a relentless cold. But there is something truly special in this place. The pristine beauty and serenity of this mighty land becomes a part of who you are. It's a bond that can never be broken. While we continue our journey, Samuil's days has already started. He began his day by reading newspapers and listening to the radio, his only connection to the outside world in his isolated home. Even though Samuil has been living alone for 2 decades, far from civilization, he is still very keen on the nearest village news. He carefully reads each article, often more than once. These newspapers keeps him entertained and serve as treasured treasures he brought with him from the village. Samuil not only reads the newspapers, but he also uses them to decorate his house. Despite the challenges of living in such a remote place without the conveniences of city life, he strives to make his home cozy and tidy. The life in the coldest place on earth is difficult, but living alone in the Siberian wilderness is beyond extreme. Samuil faces daily challenges head-on. Even the simplest task can turn into a difficult feat. Every day he must figure out how to get his food. Unfortunately, Samuil lacks the hunting skills. Sometimes he sets traps to catch hares, but success is rare, happening maybe once a month. During the summer, Samuil spends his time fishing in the nearby lake. However, as the weather gets colder, securing food becomes a much more difficult challenge. Today he decided to take a chance and ventures to a nearby lake, hoping to catch some fish.
Tätä meträ, vatsete meträ ol, vara turhalla. On kihi väkkuttana. Kyllä paljon hitää. Tongu takalta. Jere. Valkki pitää olla. ikkire. Ysere balık kilbit. 2-3 balık kilbit. Vanna huak. Ja vanna kanavan on ja varam. Oi. Ja, tappulla. Se vai. Kutto laakvai. Se oli hallakin. Kajakana ton halkka mulla kanaada wallahi. Oli ensi.
Sadly, today the fish don't seem to be biting. When there is no food, Samuil embarks on a long journey, often lasting 5 to 7 hours, to reach the nearby village. The locals often lend a helping hand with food. He shares stories of his life in the wilderness, and in return, they provide him with food and essentials.
من هاي والله أنا وتوقعين جت بيسحنا كلام منا وبهلك تخوننا ترجعنا كلام أنت مو أبوه كم مو به بدي خارن مار ونخارن بتني ونبي نقطة خارن هستعمل بدي هبور أبي غرام خلوه ودك والله كأن خام بكنا والله Don oli bustana min bää uonikka ngarka tiengat bitin.
Today, with a stock of meat from his recent visit to the village, Samuil is planning to cook a simple yet hearty meal, a soup made from horse meat. He stores his food in his self-made underground freezer, which relies on the permafrost, a naturally occurring frozen layer of soil that never melts, even during summer. Samuil cooks his food outdoors, especially when it's not too cold. As he doesn't have a cooking stove at home, he prefers food that's been prepared outdoors. Food cooked outside in the fresh air always tastes better. However, when temperature dropped to minus 50 degrees Celsius, Samuil has no choice but to cook inside on top of his heating stove. Samuil typically has just one meal a day, which he generously shares with his only friends, his dogs. A steaming bowl of soup is the ideal food to keep him warm and nourished throughout the harsh Siberian winter. To get drinking water and keep clean, Samuil melts the snow that accumulates on his roof, which melts and flows into a barrel. But if he has a choice, he prefers to drink the melted ice from the lake that is only available in the winter. To wash and keep clean, he carefully warms water on his trusty stove, patiently waiting until it reaches the perfect temperature. With resourcefulness born from necessity, Samuil has fashioned an outdoor shower using gasoline containers. While he may not have a traditional bathhouse, Samuil's creativity knows no bounds. He's already planning to build one next summer.
Ottaan kyllä mana nakajak maha kättipitä manna. On tukun tebu kyhyn tastarjome. Maanjuk tutua. Haas kyhyn tastarma haas akalaatan tyhön saada tutavumma. Ja hokota kehitytä kyräkynä. Aaruhun kummakam.
By the time Samuil prepares his lunch, our team have arrived at Samuil's house. With a heartwarming smile, Samuil greets us warmly. It's a perfect moment for our arrival, bringing with us much-needed supplies. Despite the challenges he faces, Samuil is very kind and welcoming, and is always a pleasure for us to visit. As we sit down to share this meal with him, Samuil opens up and shares numerous captivating stories from his life in the wilderness. Each tale paints a vivid picture of his remarkable journey and the enduring spirits that keep him going in this harsh environment.
Nemi äiti bu uokkiire midessä hyttättäti. Uokkiire. Onna bile hyttik kolaron. Olok, bile behöä kenen kun kolaron. Yechu äjikti. Olok, qobbasumna el baqaybu haman butu daabudi. Ote sekenduktura. Mistaayamal television naadani. Olok haydani et. Bi marta haydani, kutchugida haydani.
It's December now, and the coldest months have arrived to Yakutia. Here, far from the rest of the world, in a land where winter is relentless and unforgiving, Samuil has made his home. For the past 20 years, he has lived here alone, sharing his life with nothing but snow, wolves, and bears. But if you have been following Samuil's story, you know that something has changed. We have brought him warm windows and a solar panel. This solar panel means everything to Samuil. It's his light, his connection to the world, and a small miracle in the darkness of winter. Christmas is coming, and for Samuil, it has always been one of his favorite celebrations. Yet, he has never truly celebrated it in his life. Since losing his parents and family as a child, he was always left alone during Christmas. That loneliness became a part of him, and it's one of the reasons Samuil left his village to live far away, deep in the Siberian forest. But he has never stopped believing in Christmas miracles. Every year, he quietly makes his wishes, holding on to hope. This year, we decided to do something special for Samuil, to bring him this festive miracle. Samuil is excited. He carefully chooses his perfect Christmas tree, a tree that will bring a touch of magic to his little home. Once he finds the perfect one, he gently carries it back through the deep snow, the cold biting at his face. But his steps are light, and there is a sense of joy in the air, something rare in his quiet life. Not long after, we arrived to bring Samuil some gifts, boxes filled with food that will last him for several months, bags of flour, rice, canned goods, and other essentials to keep him through the harsh winter ahead. As we unload the boxes, his face lights up with happiness, and it's clear how much this means to him. It's a rare moment of joy in his solitary life, and for us, it's a reminder of how little it takes to bring light and hope to someone living alone in one of the harshest environments on earth.
Тройник. Хөө билет тухтах фонарик. Билет китчирулатор туга. Samuil gehäkillä jabne per yrini ketare. Ok itam bodevde. Yrini ketit. Berge. Dev kud. Akarashka.
Among the gifts there is a bag filled with Christmas tree toys, simple tinsel, and lights for his tree. Samuil takes everything outside and begins decorating his Christmas tree. He works slowly and carefully, as if each decoration is something precious. He gently hangs the Christmas tree toys, making sure not to drop a single one. His hands steady despite the cold.
네. 강아지 몰라. 요것도 나. 집에. 약간은 얘 강아지.
For the first time, Samuil's Christmas tree comes to life, a small but beautiful sight in the heart of the Siberian wilderness. Samuil heads inside to start cooking. Using the fresh meat we brought today, he prepares a simple but hearty meal. While the food is cooking, Samuil begins decorating his little wooden house. Carefully, he places small touches of Christmas throughout the room. Each piece finds its place, making the space feel brighter, warmer, and alive with the spirit of the season. Living alone in the middle of the Siberian wilderness comes with its challenges. Samuil has learned to rely on himself for everything, gathering firewood, finding food, and making repairs to his home when the harsh winter tries to tear it apart. There are no shortcuts here. Every task, no matter how small, takes time and effort. But Samuil doesn't complain. For him, the work is simply a part of his life, something he has adapted to over the years. Even without the running water or modern comforts, Samuil keeps his home neat and tidy in his own way. Samuil's only true companions in this remote wilderness are his dogs. Loyal and always by his side, they keep him company during the long, quiet days. He shares his food with them, no matter how little he has, making sure they are fed and cared for like family. They are his family, his friends, and a source of comfort in an otherwise solitary life. As the food simmers and the apple drink fills the air with a sweet warmth, his house feels different. The meal may be simple, but to Samuil it's special. A meal made with care, shared in a home that's warm and alive with the spirits of Christmas. For someone who has lived so long with so little, it's these small moments, a warm meal, festive decorations, and a celebration that feels full of life that mean the most. For Samuil, Christmas has always been about hope, and this year, for the first time in a long time, that hope has turned into something real. A moment of joy, light, and a touch of magic in the heart of the Siberian wilderness.
강아지 희한난 내 능년으로 해먹었느래 깡근자가 내 죽을 봐도 그래야 강아지는 아우고 너워 허르고 호금견니 내 죽을 봐 그래야 강아지는
As the tree stands outside, spreading its glow across the snowy forest, Samuil stands by the window, watching his beautiful Christmas tree with excitement. These lights shimmer softly against the darkness, and he can't take his eyes off it. For the first time in a long time, his little home doesn't feel so empty, and perhaps, this moment, Samuil's quiet Christmas wish has finally come true. From this remote corner of the world to yours, Merry Christmas, everyone! May this season remind us of the simple joys, the power of kindness, and how even the smallest gestures can bring warmth and light to those around us.
Anlıkıda günlerge Kele sucar ben kömülem Oğlantın en soğukundor bu Anlıkta günlerge en kelim umanna 온터는 서고서고롱 똥구 여러분의 일레겐